Hey, there I am. Hey guys, sorry for the technical difficulties there. As you know, if you have watched our podcast more than once, hopefully you'll know that I can sometimes be the least technologically savvy person that there is regarding this podcast. But my name is Fred York, and we are here again once again with our Thursday night podcast of Let 'Em Run, where we are going to give you the picks for the late pick five at Gulfstream Park on Saturday, June 7th. I'm also going to talk about the other big race that's going to be on Saturday, June 7th, and that's going to be the Belmont, which is being raced once again at Saratoga, which is kind of cool. There's a couple of our buddies going up there to check that race out. Been up there for a couple of days. Hope the weather holds out for them and also for the big races on Saturday. There are a couple big turf races that are being run. Our buddy Tommy T from the Hibernians has a piece of a good horse running Carson's Run in the 12th race right before the Belmont race. We'll talk a little bit about that race as we go along. So let's get right to it, folks, and talk a little bit about the late pick five at Gulfstream Park. And the first race is going to be race 7. That's at 4:14 Eastern Standard Time. One of 2 stake races in the late pick five. This is a 1:16 on turf. And it's a nice field in here. There's some good horses in this field. We'll talk about tonight on our One Horse Wonder segment, just one of the horses, which is also, as we talked about last week, and we had a great week last week. If you watched our podcast last week, we had a great week where we picked some big winners, particularly in the last race, race 11. We had a morning line 12-1 shot. Let's Go Coco, who went off at 7-1 and won impressively. So if you had that, congratulations. We'll talk about some of our big picks that we have in this, in this late pick five. But let's go to race 7 again, 4:14 Eastern Standard Time, the first of 2 stakes races in the sequence. The not surprising stakes, a 1:16 on turf. Our topic is number 8, Classic, of course. Morning line 2-1, likely to be the morning line favorite. He's dropping out of a grade 1 race. And trainer Patrick Biancone, if you follow Gulfstream Park at all, is on fire. He's hitting at 46%, which is pretty darn impressive. And in addition to that, he teams up with his jockey Ocasio at also 40%. Again, his sample for the jockey trainer combination is 10, a sample of 10, but still 40%. Putting a jockey on a horse 10 times and having him win 4 times is pretty solid. And when your trainer wins at 46% with a good sample size, he's dominating down there at Gulfstream Park, Patrick Biancone. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. So our top pick in race 7 is number 8, Classic, of course. Keep an eye on him. That'll be a good horse to pick in that race. We'll talk about some other contenders in the races on Saturday at 12:30 when my man Sean Miller will be joining me again. And we'll cover the same races again, but we'll talk about some of the other contenders in the races that also have some prices that we'll talk about. And, of course, on Saturday, one of the unique things about our picks on Saturday is it's after the scratches and any track condition changes, which may occur. Because it looks like Saturday at Gulfstream Park, there may be a little bit of a dampness, maybe a little rain. Don't know if it's just going to make it a little less than the fast track or going to make it a muddy track or a sloppy track. If you've ever been to Saratoga, you know up there the weather can change on a dime. It can be, 89 degrees, and then all of a sudden in the half hour, you're going to get a smoking hot, crazy storm that'll dump a lot of rain in 15, 20 minutes and going to cause some problems for the track. We'll play that by ear. And again, on Saturday at 12:30, we'll know a little bit more about that. But let's go to the next race, race 8 at 4:43 Eastern Time. A $10,000 claimer race going 5 furlongs on synthetic. again, looking at this race, we're going to pick out our top pick. Happens to be another favorite. And once again, if you've watched our podcast, you'll know that I do all these picks on Monday or Tuesday, and I don't know what the odds are. I'm just looking at the race and making my picks. And then I go ahead and put my article together, and then it goes out there on Florida Sports Talk. It's also on X to read that, and this podcast will be on it as well. So you can read along with the article and listen to how we break down our top pick. And this top pick is the number 3 Ship Cadet. Has the number 1 prime power. Again, if you follow Let 'Em Run and you follow me, you know that I take a lot of interest in what Brisnet provides with the information that they get. And they provide some good information about horses that you don't often get in some of the past performances you might get, whether you use the daily racing form or you use another format to get your past performances. Brisnet has some good information, and they're often spot on with the number 1 prime power. And again, here the number 1 prime power is 8-5. Last week in the 11th race, the number 1 prime power was 12-1, and that horse came through. Again, he went off at 7-1 if you watch that. So anyway, he's the number 1 prime power coming out of another powerful barn down there in Gulfstream Park, the David Carlos barn. He's hitting at 31% overall and 31% with first claims. This horse is 2 for 2 at Gulfstream, and I love speed. And this horse at 5 furlongs, again, speed is a big asset, especially if you get a good break. And he's likely to go wire to wire with aggressive jockey Jose Morales on him, pulling the trigger. Great jockey, knows how to ride a good speed horse, and he's got a good speed horse here. Again, in race 8, our top pick is the number 3 Ship Cadet. Morning line of 8-5. Keep an eye on that on Saturday at 12:30 when we do our podcast again, which, again, we'll talk about our other contenders in the race, which we'll get to them as well. But tonight, we're all about our top picks. So let's go to race 9, 5:13 Eastern Standard Time. That is going to be a 1.16 on turf, another stakes race, the Martha Washington Stakes. Our top pick in here has a little bit of a price going on. Number 3, We See You, an Ireland-bred filly. 6-1 morning line. Surprised to see this horse morning line at 6-1 when I did my analysis with this horse. I think this horse is sitting on her A game. Buyer speed figures are moving in the right direction. 3-5 at Gulfstream Park. And the last workout this horse had also adds quite a bit to the appeal that this horse looks like she is ready to roll. So again, we have a top pick at 6-1. The number 3, We See You, an Ireland-bred horse in the Martha Washington Stakes, race 9, the third leg of the pick 5, a 1.16 on turf. Let's talk about the next race, the 10th race, 5:43 Eastern Standard Time, a claiming 6,250 race, 6.5 furlongs on dirt. It's the lowest level of claiming at Gulfstream Park. Every track has their lowest level of claimers. This is it at Gulfstream Park. Doesn't mean there's not good horses in it. And in this race, there is a very good horse who I am not surprised when I did my reading and analysis of this, that this horse is the definite favorite. It's the number 8, Solomon's Gold. Morning line at 6-5, easily going to be going off at 6-5 and possibly even better than that. But this is an old pro. This horse knows how to run, knows how to win, seems to have found his stride again, and is a claiming machine. When you see a horse getting claimed as often as this horse, you know this horse has some talent, and a lot of trainers want to claim him, a lot of owners want to claim him. So big time in the claiming game is this horse. And getting a nice young hot jockey, the son of Stuart Elliott, if you're from the Northeast, and especially if you know about Philadelphia Park, you know who Stuart Elliott is. This is his son, apprentice jockey Chris Elliott. he stays in the saddle for this horse, and the horse is running great. This is the second time Chris Elliott's on him. And then your horizontal bets, your pick fives, your pick threes, pick fours. I would strongly consider singling this horse because there is value in the other races where there are some vulnerable favorites, I believe. But I do not look at this horse as a vulnerable favorite, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and get to the next race where, again, I'm looking at a big price in this race. The 11th race at Gulfstream Park, the last race in the pick five. It is at 6:18 Eastern time. It's a claiming 17K non-winners of 2 lifetime 1 mile on turf. So again, it's going to be a shorter turf race. Going to have a horse that's going to look like, if he can get in the race, he's on the also eligible list. That's the number 13, Message from the King. Morning line 15-1. That surprised me to no end to see a 15-1 morning line. This horse has got probably the only speed in the race. I think that's a big asset. He is in the 13th hole. 1 or 2 scratches will put him in the 11 or even the 10 hole. But all he needs is 1 scratch to get in, and that would be a big step in the right direction to get this horse with Edwin Gonzalez on board to take a big step forward and win this big race. And again, morning line 15-1. Boy, oh boy, I hope he stays anywhere near double digits, because as I did in last week's, just happened to be the last race, just so happened that that's where I picked this horse in last week. And the same thing in this race. Last race on turf. I love this horse. He is in the also eligible list, the number 13, Message from the King. He's going to look to get the lead and hold on. And Edwin Gonzalez, if he stays on the horse, if he gets in, is the right jockey to do it. So that is our pick in the last leg of the pick five at Gulfstream Park. The number 13 horse, also eligible, looking for this horse to get in, which is 1 scratch, 2 or 3 scratches, put this horse in the 10 spot, or even better post. But I think even if he gets in, he's in the 12 spot. With the kind of speed he showed, I think he is the only speed. I think he gets to the front, and I'm looking for that horse to hold on if he gets in. Okay, let's get to the big race of the day, which on Saturday, June 7th, is going to be the Belmont, the third leg of the third leg of Triple Crown. Not going to be a Triple Crown this winter, as we all know, but it looks like it is going to be a big rematch, as everybody's talking about, between 2 solid horses, obviously Sovereignty and Journalism. It's a field of 8 right now with no scratches, as we can look forward. Hopefully there are no scratches. Again, looking at the weather forecast in Saratoga Springs up there in northern New York, looks like it's going to be a little bit of a good chance of possibly some rain. Hopefully not much. If it does come, we don't want to see any of these turf races come off. It is a real quality card that is there on Saturday. I believe there's 14 races. They start at 10:50. If you're looking for a good day to handicap some races, that is the card you want to check out. And there are some races in there that I like. But at the moment, right now, I want to talk about the Belmont. Again, the third leg in the Triple Crown, looking at a definite duel between Sovereignty and Journalism. Some, definite good horses in this race, if you look at it. I mean, Journalism is the only horse that will run in all 3 of the Triple Crown races. He ran in the Derby, ran in the Preakness, and obviously now is running in the Belmont. The only horse that did run in all 3 of the Triple Crown races. The horse I fell on is a very interesting horse. Certainly probably going to be the third choice, but I think this horse has a big chance. It's the number 6, Beza, being ridden by the guru of stakes races jockey and any stakes races is Flavien Prat. The interesting thing about this horse, there's a couple interesting things that I'll point out about why I really like this horse. And I know I'm not the only one who likes this horse. I'm not doing recycled information. This is the information I gathered myself through some of the information I got, particularly including from Brisnet. Brisnet, if you follow Brisnet or you look at Brisnet, they rate horses in E, which is an early horse that must go to the lead. The only way he's going to win. An EP, which is an early horse that has early speed, but can press the leaders and be up with the leaders, but doesn't need the lead. That's an EP. A P is a presser, not going to get the lead, but will press some of the early runners. And then an S, which is a stalker. It's a valuable way that they assess the horses, and then they break down the race style, like the races, all the races that were run, in this case, that were run at 1.25 miles on dirt at Saratoga, and how they were won. And then the horse, the style or the label that they applied to the race in this race is the EP, early presser, a horse that can be in the lead but doesn't need the lead, but will be up by the leaders pressing him. And there's only one horse that has that rating, and that's the 6-horse Beza. And that horse, or that rating from Brisnet in this style of race, in this distance on dirt or race, wins at 57% out of a pretty decent pool size. And this is the only horse that has that style, that EP style that Brisnet labels on the horses. There's 2 horses that have an E that are going to go to the lead. That would be Crudo and also Rodriguez. They're E horses. They're going to go to the lead. This horse, Beza, is going to just stay with those horses, press them, but not pass them until they get to the stretch. Typically, the big closes in this race, Sovereignty, Journalism, I don't think they're going to have enough time to close. I think that the first horse that's going to get the biggest chance to close in on these front runners is going to be the number 6 horse, Beza. Another interesting fact about Beza is the broodmare of both 2 good horses that I loved and followed in the Triple Crown races the last couple of years was the broodmare first of Dornick, who won the Belmont, and also the broodmare of Maj, who won the Kentucky Derby. This horse, Baze, is a half brother to those horses, means same mom, different dad. But that's pretty good combination breeding there. You know, Maj and Dornick, you're related to them. I think that speaks volumes, and that's another reason why I really like this number 6 horse Beza in this race. So let's take a look at it again on Saturday morning at 12:30 when myself and my man Sean Miller will get together and break these races down a little further. I apologize for some of the early snafus here with the things that I'm not very adept at in terms of any of the savviness that Sean Miller has. He's great with any of this stuff that requires technological savvy. That will be Sean Miller. That would not be me, Fred York. But let's thank you for watching Let Him Run again. Good luck on Saturday. Be sure to check us out on Saturday at 12:30 on Capital Sports Network. We'll be live there again at 12:30 talking more about these races. So once again, thank you for watching. And remember, let him run and good luck.